at the edge of the Mediterranean, right next to the Atlantic Sea, between Europe and Africa, there's a big rock. Some even call it an island. And the name of the place is?
Greece.
Greece? You need to put some grease up there, right? Greece. Gibraltar. Gibraltar. You never heard of it?
Strait of Gibraltar.
Yeah, but that's an island that is in the middle, right? It really connects Africa and Europe. That's where the Greeks thought that Hercules stood over there, suspended the world. I don't know, put his foot here, all kind of stuff like this. However, like any other good and strategic places, there's Jews there also. So let's talk about today a short segment about the Jews of Gibraltar. It's a very interesting place. The Jews of Gibraltar, the Jewish community of Gibraltar, is a very small community. And it starts really in the Middle Ages. That's for me, Moshe. Baruch Hashem, Tay. That's like a service here. Thank you. You put sugar? Good. Tea without sugar is like a body with no soul. Yes, very good. And there were Jews there from the Middle Ages. And what we call the New Era, usually, with the discovery of America and so on and so forth, some of the Jews who were expelled from Spain actually settled down in Gibraltar, and it became a very interesting cosmopolitan place where the character of the place is both Spanish, British, and Moroccan. So it changed the community. It's a very fascinating community, and I'm surprised you guys didn't bother to look into it. Very fascinating community. Most of the Jews there today, they get their livelihood from Gibraltar being a hub for international trade and tax haven. So it's a pretty good. A lot of them are lawyers and so on and so forth. And there are few people that made Aliyah to Israel and so on. So the main group of people that settled down in Gibraltar were Sephardic Jews, descendants of Sephardic Jews who were expelled from Spain and then migrated into England. We have some documents, a special document from 1356 shows that the community asked to raise money for ransom to pay for Jews who were caught by pirates to release them. And it says over there that there were many Jews who are Anusim that ran away from being persecuted in Andalusia, in Spain, settled down in Gibraltar. In 1473, and there weren't a lot of people there, so it wasn't a big place. However, because of its location, they changed and shaped the community to make it so special. So it was also a place when they escaped from Spain because of proximity, almost in the middle between Spain and Morocco. So a lot of Jews escaped from Spain, hopped over, and then jumped to Morocco. It was a very dangerous ordeal. A lot of Jews, when they were expelled from Spain, fell captives to pirates. A lot of them died in the ships. They simply did ethnic cleansing. They put them on boats and they threw them away, and nobody made a peep. Of course, we can't do those things today. To other people, to Jews, it could always be done. We became so ridiculous that even Jews today do ethnic cleansing to Jews, right? AKA Gush Katif, Sinai, etc., etc. I don't think it's not going to happen in the West Bank. It will happen. You'll see it, unfortunately. Anyway, In 1713, in what's called the Utrecht Contract Treaty, Britain received Gibraltar as a crown community, and and one of the notes there was said that it is not allowed to sell property to Jews or to Muslims. But however, the British who were there, kind of closed their eye on it because they needed to make business with Morocco. So in order to accommodate that, they violated this thing, which was always a problem because Spain always tried to put a siege on it, to try to enforce it. However, it became British. The first shul in Gibraltar was established in 1724, and in 1749, when the chief rabbi of London came, he became also the chief rabbi. He came from London, but he became the chief rabbi of Gibraltar. His name was Rabbi Yitzchak Nieto, and he established the Kilat Shara Shamayim, which you can still go to it today. It's an amazing place. In 1781, there was another shul there, of course, because Jews need to have another shul. The name of the shul is Nefutzot Yehuda, and it is known for its great architecture and design inside. It's a marvelous place. You can see pictures on it if you go online. Around the same time, also another shul was established, Bet HaKnesset Etz Chaim, and in 1820, Bet HaKnesset Abu Daram. There is also another shul for young people, and it's called, that's where the young people go and they pray. It's like an activity, like community center. Around that time, the Jewish cemetery was established, and was established up the hill. And until today, it's called the Shara Yehudim, the gates of the Jews. But today, they don't bury Jews there anymore. But rather than that, they use the new cemetery next to the airport in Gibraltar, which is an ordeal by itself. You can watch it on YouTube and any other channels. It's a very interesting place to land in. The Jewish community flourished up until the 18th century, where a rumor spread that Spain is going to conquer that area from Britain, and then many of the Jews from Gibraltar left to Italy, England, Holland, and so on and so forth. These are the places that they went. All these places, by the way, had Sephardic communities as well. We don't think about, and we'll do it, Bezrat Hashem, about a place like Holland as being a place of Sephardim. However, the Sephardic community in Holland was pretty big. Spanish-Portuguese. Until today, there's Spanish-Portuguese in Holland. The Jewish community of Hamburg and Frankfurt, the Yankees, they were Sephardim. Many of them were Sephardim. So Italy, for sure. In Italy, again, Italy is a very interesting place. They had some Ashkenazim, they had Italian Jews, and then Sephardic Jews that came from Spain to settle down there. So to those places, people felt most comfortable. That's where they escaped. Again, to me, it is unbelievable you don't learn those things in school. You go through high school, and you don't learn those things. I think it would have been a great idea for any school to actually do trips like that. For example, to go to places like this to see how shuls were built and designed. I love to look at Jewish synagogues. Of course, that's the only synagogues from the old world in places like Turkey, places like Greece. There's nothing there; all destroyed. But Italy and other places like this, to see, just amazing how the people build. The architecture is so unique and is so unbelievable. And you look at our shuls today, and you're saying, yes, they're big, yes, they're beautiful, but they're spiritless. There's no spirit. It is, and it's something that I would encourage you and would like you to do, to develop your own if you want to, like your own research on looking into different shuls to see how it is. Maybe one day you'll be rabbis, or you'll be very rich, you win the Powerballs or whatever it is, and you want to build a shul, and you want to do it old world style, it's old school, as they say. So I would think that schools should do that, and to go more often into again. We've been, us in the Yeshiva, we've been into building a few shuls that were built from scratch. What for me was interesting, some of them were designed by Chinese people. They do beautiful design, beautiful work, but, should I say more? Think about it, it's ridiculous. It's like a Jew designing, a Zen monastery. What do I know about Zen monastery? I'll build it like a shul, if I had to. But to go, for example, for guys to go to do a trip to the Juderia in Cordova, in Sevilla, to go to the ghetto in Venice, to go to the ghetto in Rome, to see how Jews lived. Everybody's like a herd. Okay, listen, Israel is our place. Israel is Israel, and there's nothing to do. Israel is a gorgeous place. We have to go to Israel all the time. But there's other things, and we forget. And we absolutely forget. How many of you actually went to the Spanish-Portuguese shul in Manhattan? How was it? Beautiful. Is it anything like you see here? Completely not. Completely not. It's nothing. It's different. What?
What about the shuls in Tzfat?
In Tzfat?
Abu Hav and all those places.
Yeah, unfortunately, the shuls in Tzfat are run by, some of them, not all of them, but some of them are run by a bunch of thugs who took over the place and now they charge money to go to shul to pray. I've never seen anything like that. I'm going to shoot these people. Yeah.
Abu Hav wasn't there.
No, Abu Hav is the main shul. If you want to go to the shul of Maharana Bet Yosef, you have to pay money to get in. What kind of thing is that? To pay money to go to a shul? Where are we? In Bangkok. That thing is crazy. People take care, and that's what happens. Nobody takes over. Somebody takes over it himself, and then you start charging money. I'm very, very angry about it. I would not go there. As much as I want to go, and I went there, but as much as I want to go to Maran Bet Yosef shul to sit, I'm against that. Shul is not something you should pay. Go break your head. It's a bunch of thugs. That's what it is.
Amen.
At the beginning of the 19th century, the community of Gibraltar started to flourish tremendously, and since then really started to grow. There is, of course, the famous Rabbanim there, Rav Yehuda Bibas, that was born there and became the Rav, and he was a Rosh Yeshiva in Gibraltar. Rav Yosef Kobo, the 8th, which was also the Rav Kehillah. Rabotai, if you want your Kehillah to flourish, if you want your community to grow, you have to make a yeshiva, you have to make Talmud Torah. It does not make a difference how rich your community is, and how much money you pour in, and how powerful the people in, and blah, 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 blah. Look at all the conservative and reform. There's no Torah, there's no Kehillah. That's it, the bottom line. So the flourishing of that, they come in, they start to establish shuls, they establish Talmud Torah, and then the Kehillah flourishes. During World War II, Britain was able to keep Gibraltar. It was a strategic place, and therefore Baruch Hashem. But lucky the Jews from Gibraltar, the Holocaust kind of skipped on them. The same thing has happened, and you see, and just to show you, this is just to show you that if they wanted, a lot of Jews could be saved. For example, Franco, Generalissimo Franco from Spain. He took over for whatever Jews were left there. He didn't hand them over. The king of Bulgaria, which was also allies with Germany, the Jews of Bulgaria did not go to the Holocaust. The Jews from Greece did. If they wanted, they could have saved them. But nobody wanted to save the Jews. Even today. Anyway, so even though the war was there and so on and so forth, some of the Jews left Gibraltar and some of them, would rather not to come back to Gibraltar, and that made the Kehillah, the community there, even smaller. Today, the Kehillah is about 700 people. There's about 30,000 people live in Gibraltar, about 700 Jews live there. So it's pretty small. However, we're talking about a very strong, even though it's small, but religious-wise, is a very settled, put-together community that so much that they say that more than half of the stores, the small stores in Gibraltar, are closed on Shabbat. Why? Because the Jews of Gibraltar keep Shabbat, they open the stores. In Gibraltar right now, there are 5 shuls who are open on Shabbat, and they're full. And the tefillah is benosach Sfaradim, in Sephardic Nigun, but the traditions are closer to the traditions of the Jews of Morocco. There is some remnants of minhagim that they did that existed in Spain before the Girush from Spain. For example, to read Shir HaShirim in Chol HaMoed Pesach, to speak Ladino, and also Pirkei Avot, which they read between Pesach and Shavuot, which are read also in Ladino. Another minhag, another tradition that they have, is on Erev Shabbat to sing a certain song. It's called, which we call Nevarech, to say Benedictus, right? Well, Bendanimos. So this is the bracha. So the Messiah said a certain song that is almost a substitute to Birkat Hamazon that the Jews in Spain, the Anusim, sang before. And this is a very famous song. Everybody knows that. One of the famous songs is Tzur mi shelo achal. That's it. So that's what they used to sing instead of Birkat Hamazon. They used to sing this song. To us, to many Sfaradim, we sing it before Birkat Hamazon as a remnant to what they used to do. Because of that, it's a beautiful song. By the way, this tune, it's very old because it comes from a romancera, which is a song in Spanish, it's some Judeo-Spanish, and it's called Los Bilbilicos Cantan. Los Bilbilicos Cantan, Tzur mi shelo achal, right? So that's the same tune. It's a very, very old tune. Show me another community that has tunes that are, 500, 600, 700 years old. We sing it. That's why it's important for you to sing. It's important for you to know it. It's important for you to sing. Now, there's no, which is very interesting, there's no intermarriage in Gibraltar. There's no intermarriage in Gibraltar. You see, intermarriage is in a direct relation to the pride that you feel as a Jew, to how active you are as a Jew. You're more active, you're very proud as a Jew, no intermarriage. You're not going to intermarry. That's a unique community that there's no intermarriage in it. They should be praised, and we should learn more of what they had done to prevent intermarriage than, rather than the poor state of affairs that we are at. There are 3 shuls in, it's 3 schools. Hey, Rebs, 3 schools in the city, and there is a high school for boys and a high school for girls. There's a small kollel. The people in the kollel are not from Gibraltar. They also deal in teaching. Maybe you guys should go there. I think they probably pay well. Most of the Kehillah members are fluent in Hebrew. The continual learning is done many times in England, or they go to Israel. Many people go to Gateshead and so on and so forth, which is a very, very, very good place. There are 5 stores over there that sell kashrut, kosher food, and there are kosher restaurants. This is an indication of a vibrant and strong community. Again, it all begins and ends with pride. You're not proud about the fact you're a Jew, you're not going to keep it. You're not proud of the fact you're a Jew, you're not going to learn. You're not proud of the fact you're a Jew, you're going to look like it. It's going to smell like it. And you're not going to be it. You take your kippah off for this, your son's going to be taking the kippah off completely. Listen, I got nothing against the kippot you wear. Don't get me wrong. I think they're beautiful. They're good kippot. However, if you feel, especially the two of you, dynamic duel over there, especially if you feel, instead of wearing this beanie hat, what are you, a hipster or something, Instead of wearing that, why won't you wear a beautiful Bukhari kippah? What's wrong with that? Cut it. Your hair is long, cut it. Not to get a nice Bukhari kippah. There's some of the stuff is amazing. Let's not get into the thing. It's Uzbek. That's not the point. If you feel strong about it, so you wear. Moshe, your kippah is fine. But if you want to wear it, b'chavod, How do you call the Bukhari kippah? No. Huh?
Kalaposh.
Kalaposh?
Yeah.
Kalaposh.
Yeah.
You know what kalabush is in slang, Hebrew slang? It's jail. Kalabush. Kalaposh. Okay, yofi. So wear one. Sam would look nice in it. You look like a Taliban if you wear it. Anyway, let's go back to Gibraltar, which is very interesting. The Jews of Gibraltar sings the British anthem in Hebrew, and they also make a Misha Berach to the Queen and to her husband, and he's not a king. He's not the king. Okay, Misha Berach right? The Queen, yeah, and so on and so forth. It's a very interesting, really interesting community. Really, there's so many resources that you can find today. I would like to encourage all of you today, when you get home, this is just a glimpse. I told you it's a small segment on the. I really would recommend to all of you just to take a look. Go to YouTube. Go to not YouTube. Google. Do Google Images. Go do a search about the shuls in Gibraltar, Jewish community of Gibraltar. Do a little search about the community itself. All of a sudden you say, oh my goodness, that's not a bad place. What could I learn from them that I could adapt to myself, and so on and so forth. So that's just like a small segment about a community you didn't even know existed. I don't think that until today. My daughter actually had in seminary, she had a girl from Gibraltar. So yeah, a very nice girl. So I don't think that that until today you knew that there is such a community. Now that you know it, now you have to learn more. So please do a small research. Report to me tomorrow. Do a small research on what you learned, what you heard, your impression. Look at the shuls. Look especially in the shuls. What you learn from these places. And I would like to hear. If you have any questions, you can call us or get in touch with us through our email at rabbigaon.gmail@gmail.com, or you can go to our Yeshiva website, yeshivaetzion.com. We have a PayPal account. You can help us out. And by the way, our Sefer Torah is delicious. Have a great day.